This week on Art of the Air, our whole show features Grammy Award-winning, internationally recognized artist Falu, who is known for her ability to seamlessly blend a signature modern style with formidable Indian classically trained vocal talent, previously heard on our show as part of American Patchwork Quartet. Our spotlight's on Chicago Street Theater's finale of their 70th season with the production of Shakespeare in Love.
Express yourself through art and show the world your heart. Express yourself through art and show the world your heart. You're in the know with Esther and Larry. Art on the air today. Stay in the know with Larry and Esther. Art on the air our way. Express yourself through art and show the world your heart. Express yourself through art and show the world your heart.
Welcome. You're listening to Art on the Air on Lakeshore Public Media, 89.1 FM, WVLP 103.1 FM, our weekly program covering the arts and arts events throughout Northwest Indiana and beyond. I'm Larry Breckner of New Perspectives Photography, right alongside here with Esther Golden of The Nest in Michigan City.
Aloha, everyone.
We're your hosts for Art on the Air. Art on the Air is supported by an Indiana Arts Commission Arts Project Grant, South Shore Arts, and the National Endowment for the Arts. Art on the Air is heard every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Lakeshore Public Media, 89.1 FM, also streaming live at lakeshorepublicmedia.org, and is available on Lakeshore Public Media's website as a podcast. Also heard on Friday at 11 a.m. and Monday at 5 p.m. on WVLP 103.1 FM, streaming live at wvlp.org. Our Spotlight interviews are also heard Wednesdays on Lakeshore Public Media. Information about Art on the Air is available at our website, breck.com/AOTA. That includes a complete show archive, Spotlight interviews, plus our show is available on multiple podcast platforms, including NPR One. Please like us on Facebook, Art on the Air, WVLP, for information about upcoming shows and interviews. Hello, I'm Larry Breckner, Board Chair for Lakeshore Public Media and also a sustaining supporter. As Northwest Indiana's public broadcaster on TV, radio, and digital, we're not only bringing you the best of PBS and NPR, but more importantly, serve as a vital community resource for great local programs like Regionally Speaking, Eye in the Arts, Friends and Neighbors, Let's Eat with Chef Nick, Art in the Air, Building Blocks, and more. Please help protect my Lakeshore Public Media with your support by visiting lakeshorepublicmedia.org/give. I'd like to welcome back to Art in the Air Spotlight from the Chicago Street Theater. It's Lisa Fermoso Parigino, and she's going to talk about actually what they consider the final production of their season, which runs this summer, July 11th through, I think it's August, and it's going to be in various places, but she's going to tell us all about that. Lisa, welcome back to the show.
Hi, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to see you, Lisa.
So tell us about what you're doing. You're doing a Shakespeare in the Park, but you're actually not doing Shakespeare. You're doing a production called Shakespeare in Love, which maybe people are familiar with the motion picture. So, but tell us all about that.
Well, this is our 13th year in the park, and we've made some decisions with the artistic committee and the board of directors at Chicago Street, and we feel as if we're going to probably not come back and do the park after this summer. And because of that, we thought that it might be fun to go out with a Shakespeare-adjacent production. And the thing that's really fun about Shakespeare in Love is the film itself was very successful. It's Tom Stoppard, of course, who is primarily responsible for having written it. But what's beautiful is it's not Shakespeare, it's Will. It's young Will before he's really come into his own. And so we see a frantic young Will who's learning this event that happens is the catalyst in his life that eventually ends up, I think, being partially responsible for making him the poet that he is. And of course, it's all fiction. I mean, none of this probably happened, but it's kind of neat to assume that during the writing of Romeo and Ethel, the Pirate King's daughter, he ends up falling in love and it becomes Romeo and Juliet. He's terribly influenced by character Kit Marlowe, which we know is Christopher Marlowe, who was also an amazing playwright at the time. So it's very exciting for us. We hope to bring people out to the park with something that's Shakespeare adjacent. So for those who are a little bit shy about experiencing Shakespeare in its true form, you get a lot of both. You get a little bit of the wording from Romeo and Juliet, and you discover how the balcony scene happens and all of that. And yet you have just characters, people running around. There's a couple cameos with Queen Elizabeth. I mean, who doesn't want to see Queen Elizabeth? So it's a really fun, it's a comedy. It's delightful. And we're going to open it in the park only one night on July 11th. Then we are moving into the theater, but our opening weekend, the first performance we're very, very excited about. It is a special fundraiser for Jovanina Wilson. And her mother, Marisa Ellis, is puts together this foundation, and the funding goes to scholarships to all kinds of folks who are studying in the arts. And so we're really thrilled to be able to sponsor that this year. And then we'll run in the theater until August 3rd.
And that will be your conclusion of the 70th season, Chicago Street Theater.
Yes.
Wow, that's tremendous. Now, taking something that's from a film and adapting to the stage, obviously there's a lot of things that are different, and you probably, I'm certain, seen the motion picture, but tell us maybe about some of the differences between the stage production and what people might have seen in the motion picture.
It is almost identical. It's actually called a play with music, so there is very specific musical score that goes along with it that is mandatory. I'm fortunate enough to have a wonderful cast of some of my young students who are teens who've grown up a bit and gone off to college and come back, and they're all very musical and sing. So some of the music and some of the songs in there are going to be live. Some are going to be tracks with some singing, but the adaptation is almost identical to the film. The difference, of course, is that it takes place on stage, and we can't, with the beauty of a camera, just switch from location to location to location. So we've had to be really creative about how we're going to stage something that takes place, in 16 or 17 different places, including Greenwich and Whitehall and, on the River Thames and, some really, really challenging places, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
So somebody who hasn't been to Shakespeare in the Park, can you tell them what they need to do? Because I read that you need to bring your own chairs.
You do. You need to bring your own fold-out chairs or a blanket or whatever you'd like. We begin at dusk. Prior to dusk, you can come out to the park. There are food trucks that we always have there, so you can grab something to eat, sit outside, and enjoy the summer. You bring your own chairs or blanket, and at dusk we begin, and the show is free, and it's really quite exceptional. You sit out under the stars and you watch a play unfold. It's really beautiful.
That's great. Well, we only have 1 minute left. We want to give you a chance. I know you can't preview your season completely for the next season, but maybe give us a little hints at the number of productions and things like that. So just to tease it, and then we're going to come back and probably revisit that after you've made the formal announcement.
We have a really exciting 71st season coming up, and I can't wait to tell you exactly what it is. I think some people will be surprised. We're trying to shake it up a little bit and do some new things. So it'll be very interesting to see. And with just a pinch of time left, I want to encourage everybody to take a look at our education program. We have wonderful camps for the summer, and we also have full semester of programs coming up.
Excellent. And how people can find out
Perfect.
about Chicago Street Theater, online or such?
Yes, absolutely. chicagostreet.org. We also have Facebook. You can follow us there. Instagram as well. You can find us on both.
That's going to be Shakespeare in Love in the Park starting on July 11th, running through August. Lisa Formosa Perugino, thank you so much for coming on the Air Spotlight and sharing.
Thanks. Thank you
What a
very
great
much.
end to a great season.
Spotlight Extra, Friday, June 13th at 7 p.m. Trivia Night 2025, Season 71 of the Chicago Street Theater will be revealed. Prizes for the top 3 teams. Art on the Air Spotlight and the complete 1-hour program on Sunday is brought to you by Ember Forge Consulting, thoughtful marketing and digital learning built to express your purpose and grow your reach. Learn more at emberforgeconsulting.com/grow. And as a reminder, if you'd like to have your event on Art on the Air Spotlight or have a longer feature interview, email us at aota@brech.com. That's aota@brech.com. Our show relies on the support of not only our show underwriters, but also our listeners who make donations to this station. Your support of this station will ensure Art on the Air may continue bringing you the best of the arts and culture programming for Northwest Indiana and beyond. If Art on the Air is important to you, please consider supporting this station with a one-time contribution or even making an ongoing sustaining contribution. For information on how to make a contribution, go to this station's website or our show website, breck.com/AOTA. And thank you.
Hi everyone, this is recording artist David Arkenstone, and you're listening to Art on the Air on Lakeshore Public Media 89.1 FM and on WVLP 103.1 FM.
We are pleased to welcome Falu Shah to Art on the Air. Falu is a Grammy Award-winning internationally recognized artist known for her ability to seamlessly blend a signature modern inventive style with a formidable Indian, classically trained vocal talent. She was the first Indian-born singer-songwriter to win a Grammy Award. She has performed worldwide in front of and with an abundant cast of world-recognized people and talent. She has also been a Carnegie Hall Ambassador of Indian Music since 2006. Thank you for joining us on Art on the Air. Aloha and welcome, Falu. It's just fabulous meeting you.
So nice to meet you both, Larry and Esther, and I'm so happy to be here today.
Oh, we're so happy to have you on board Art on the Air. And of course, we had the interview with American Patchwork Quartet, where you had Shenandoah was the actual featured song we did in that interview. And that was your interesting vocal take on that. But what we want to start with is your background story, your origin story. I always like to say it like how you got from where you were to where you are now. So tell us all about yourself.
I was born in a very musical family. My mother and grandmother, they both were singers. And because they understood and did music for a profession, the minute I could sing or hum a note, my mom picked it up. And she said, okay, yeah, she has pitch, let's go. And she started training me even before I could speak. So my full form sentences were not even formed. And my mom was teaching me the Indian solfege, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa already. So that was one of the things that it was so early in my memory that I don't even remember singing until it was already, my first memory started when I was 4, and this happened at 2.5. So I'm not even sure when my mom started teaching me. It was always there in my DNA. So
right, in the womb.
Yeah, and that led to her introducing me to greatest teachers, legends actually in Indian music, in classical music. And sometimes it's very hard for these level musicians, these legends, to even give you 1 minute of their hearing time. They're so busy. But because of my mom, I was able to come and meet and sing for these amazing teachers, gurus, hoping that my mom was hoping that they would take me under their wings. And luck be it, they did. And was trained with Ustad Sultan Khan, Ustad Uday Mazumdar, Kishori Amonkarji, and Komadi Munshi. And four of these are the most sorted out musicians in India. Three passed away, one is still there. Um, when we trained in Indian classical music, it's a little bit of an intense program. It's not, you don't take this heritage lightly. I'm the 11th generation of learning Hindustani, both Jaipur Gharana, both Indore Gharana and Banaras Gharana, all of these schools of music that I was able to learn from. And orally, we have to pass it down to the next generation, which is now I'm trying to have 3 or 4 kids learn this music. And because we don't write it down, they have to memorize it. And that's the only way it's passed from one teacher to another. And doing this, at 6 years when I was riding a bike, I got in a bike accident, and I was injured. I had head injury, so was hospitalized, and I had such a horrible headache in the hospital bed that I was yelling and screaming. And my mom said, no, don't scream, sing, because music is a healer. Once you do music, you'll forget all your pain. So start singing, forget about screaming. And I started singing in that hospital bed, and I never stopped. I didn't look back once. This is all I wanted to do. I told my mom, I got the most peace, the most healing, and I felt the most beautiful feelings when I sing. And that's what I want to feel my entire life. So she said, okay, well, if you want to do it as a profession, I'm always going to support you. And my dad was a little bit, like, oh, there's no security unless, you really figure out and make it really big. And I'm like, Dad, mom did it, and I can, obviously you have to take risks in your life. And I had to convince my dad that I wanted to be a musician, even though he was married to one. I don't understand why, but that was it. And then I convinced my brother. My brother is also musical. He did not pursue music as a profession. He went to finance, but he still, like, we sing and play together. And we grew up in a family where music was it was part of food. It was part of, playing. We played with instruments. We played with songs. We watched Bollywood movies. We went to concerts. Everything evolved and revolved around music for us. Also in India, music is a way of life.
Right.
If there is a baby born, you have a lullaby. If someone dies, you sing Vedic mantras. If there's a marriage, you have songs for that. So everything is celebrated through music. So you can't escape it, really. And being in such a beautiful, fun-filled, festive, and celebratory environment, music became one of our voices that we could express.
So you're pursuing your music, and now, and your husband's also a musician, and I know you do things together. But how did you? What's your next steps? You come from the hospital and everything. What was your career path after that? Getting into it to become professional.
Yeah. So my training was extremely intense. When you train with classical musicians in India, they actually teach you a melodic scale raga. At the time, it is meant to be sung. So if I'm learning a morning rag, 4 o'clock rag in the morning, I have to be at my teacher's house at 4.
Right.
She will get up for me and she will teach me, and I have to learn at that time. If I want to learn a night rag, then my ustad will teach me, jog at night, Jaijavanti at night. These are the ragas that give you the maximum impact when you sing it at that particular time. So I used to, even after when I went to school, my school started at 7:30, but I used to be at my teacher's house every day at 4 in the morning. from 4 to 7:30 learning, 7 learning, 7:30 to 12:30 school, back to my teacher's house at 1, and learning from 1 to 11. So it was very intense, 16 hours of learning. Sometimes 14, sometimes 15, depending on if there's an exam I have to study. But, a lot of my time, rather than going to a mall or, playing outside as my other friends, I didn't do that. I did not have a very, like a normal upbringing where you can hang out with you. I didn't know what hangout is until I married my husband. He's like, let's hang out. I'm like, what is that? He goes, let's have some fun. You don't always have to do music. I'm going to take you to a mall. Like, okay. Stuff like that, what everyday children and kids do. I totally missed that because I was so focused that I didn't want to waste my single minute doing something that was not a part of my education. And also, it's me personally. I don't think every child who is musical needs to be like this, but that was the only thing that gave me joy. So I didn't want to get out of that joy that I experienced. The music was something that made me smile.
Right. A deep love. A deep love. We had on an artist, a Veena artist, Saraswati Raghunathan, and she demonstrated ragas for us, different types of ragas. It was such a wonderful program. But is there a history with the song Sava that we're going to be listening to next?
Savan?
Did you write that song?
Oh my God, what a great question. And I would love to share the story of Savan. So Savan comes from the semi-classical style of music, hail to Banaras, which is a beautiful city in the Northeast. And it comes from a culture of courtesans. So my third teacher, Kumudi Munshi, learned from the queen of this style of singing, Tumri Dadra Kajri. Her name was Siddheshwari Devi, and she was a courtesan, which means when British colonized India, they wanted to put this music underground. They did not want people to learn it. They really want to erase this whole music. Courtesans were the ladies who saved it underground and gave it very secretly to people like my teachers, Kumudi Munshi and all. And Savan is that heritage. It is that style. It comes from Banaras. It is saved by this courtesan, Siddheshwari Devi, and it is exactly how she taught my teacher. I've tried to do the same. So it's passed on to me from that generation, and I'm holding on to it and hoping more and more people will learn about how British colonization really hurt us so much, but also at the same time, we were able to save our gems, our diamonds of music that nobody could take from us.
It almost becomes more precious, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the diamonds that we have now with these songs that were given to us, and there are thousands of them, at least I know 1,000 of them. So those no one can take from our culture, from our genes. I'm going to pass it on and make sure that person passes it on because somebody tried to erase it.
Right. So now it's embedded.
No, we're not going to let that happen. So Savan is that song which would have been erased if Siddheshwari Devi and her mother didn't save it.
Well, let's take a listen to it. Savan, Falu Shah, on Art on the Air.
Ab ke savan ghar aaja re, ab ke savan ghar aaja, आसैया मैं हूँ अकेली, अब के सावन घर आजा रे, अब के सावन घर आजा, मन की तलैया सुनी पड़ी है, मन की तलैया सुनी पड़ी है, प्रेम की बूंद बरस सावन घर आ जा रे अब के सावन घर आ जा उड़ियो रे कागवा ले जइयो संदेशवा उड़ियो रे कागवा ले जइयो संदेशवा पिया के पास मोरा मोरा रे पिया के पास मोरा मैं सोने की चोंच मढ़ाऊंगी सोने की चोंच मढ़ाऊंगी और पंख के ऊपर कलम से लिख दूंगी अब के सावन घर आ जा रे अब के सावन घर आ जा अब के सावन घर आ जा रे अब के सावन घर आ जा 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 अब के सावन घर अब के सावन घर अब के सावन घर आ जा
And that was Savan with our guest today, Falu Shah. And you're listening to Art on the Air on Lakeshore Public Media, 89.1 FM, and on WVLB, 103.1 FM. And after a brief pause, we'll be back to our guest today. Art on the Air listeners, do you have a suggestion for a possible guest on our show? Whether it's an artist, musician, author, gallery, theater, concert, or some other artistic endeavor that you are aware of, or a topic of interest to our listeners. Email us at aota@brech.com. That's aota@brech.com. Did you know that you can also listen to Art on the Air anytime as a podcast at Lakeshore Public Media's website, through Lakeshore's app, or from NPR? Plus, it's available on demand from your favorite podcast website, including TuneIn, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and many more. If you have a smart speaker like Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, or Apple Siri, just tell it to play Art on the Air to hear the latest episode. And we return to our guest today, Falu.
So with that song, I got such a sense of longing. I was just filled with it. Is that kind of the story behind that particular one, or?
Absolutely, it is about longing.
Oh,
The girl is saying, at least this spring, please come home. You
oh,
have been gone for so long. I haven't seen you. I haven't hugged you. I haven't even had a glimpse of you in a year. And now, when the rain is coming, with it, along with the rain, are the memories that are completely surrounding me, and it's just absolutely unbearable to be without you right now. So please come, at least this spring and rainy season, come home and give me a hug and be with me. So it is
wow.
absolutely about longing.
Those ragas are so emotional.
Yeah.
how did you come to America? It's I know we have, especially in the Chicago area here, we have a huge Indian culture throughout Northwest Indiana and Chicago. But what brought you to America?
Love.
Okay.
My husband, who is born in India, but he was raised in Texas. He came here when he was 3 years old, with his parents, Indian American parents, who immigrated in the late 70s. And my husband was 3 years old. He came with them, and he grew up in Texas. Now, somewhere in Texas, he listened to these old records from Indian classical music that his father brought with him, and completely fell in love with Indian music and wanted to always come back home to India and learn from these gurus. So after college, he did his undergrad at Harvard University in Boston. He took a year off and he came to India to learn music. And destiny turns it that he ended up in my class. And we were learning from the same teachers, and one thing led to the other, and obviously we fell in love. And then he's like, "Are you going to come to America with me?" I'm like, "No, because I love India. If you like me, you come move to Mumbai. Why do I need to move to the US?" He says, "Because, I'm studying. I can't leave my medical school right now. I'm going to be in medical school, but you can sing anywhere. Your music is global. So you should." So he kind of enticed me and teased me and gave me all these bribes to come. So I came because of love. And then when I came, I was absolutely naive. I had no idea how to make a music career in America. I did not know anybody besides him and his bandmates. He used to have a band called Karishma. They used to perform in colleges, and they were young, so they were college band. And we toured with them. I joined their band. But then eventually, I think collaborations happened. And the first collaboration happened with Yo-Yo Ma. And he suggested that I he suggested my name to the ex-director of Carnegie Hall, who was Hollis Hedrick, who heard me. He invited me to be in New York. He started, I've become the ambassador since then. And I continue to have that position now. And I programmed so many other musical projects. And I also sang and performed at Carnegie Hall. I taught, I still teach. We write lullabies every Thursday. So, my journey started with collaborations. Then I collaborated with Philip Glass because of Carnegie Hall. From there to Wyclef Jean and Jerry Wanda in the rap and hip hop world. And then from there I led to Bernie Worrell, Parliament Funkadelic. He invited me to sing with him. Along with that, I met John Papa from Blues Travelers. I sang with him. Then came Ricky Martin in the line, and I collaborated with him. And I think when something appeals and people like your singing, things happen. And I was very lucky and blessed to be at the right spot at the right time with the right people, because that's also very important. You just can't be singing, but you need this support.
Right. Well, you started with the ultimate right person with Yo-Yo Ma. So.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest break, because when Yo-Yo Ma tells Hollis Hedrick at Carnegie, you need to listen to this girl. She's very young, but she has some potential and kind of do something about her career. He helped me.
So, when I listened to Tarana, my question about that was it a collaborative piece?
Tarana it's sort of original, sort of ancient. Like sometimes what we do, we take these ragas, but we write, inspired by ragas. So I don't ever forget my heritage. I always think that all the things that come from the old traditions, are always going to be having that element of heritage. And then we wrote and arranged and we wrote different things on it and made different when you listen to the second half of the song, we wrote that. So it's kind of a traditional along with original. We interwove it, and it is something that I'm very proud of. Tarana sometimes it means lyrics that have no meaning, but sometimes it also means there are some lyrics that do have some meaning. So it's a song comes from the classical tradition, and I felt it was very happy and positive and uplifting, and that emotion has been, we've tried to give that emotion to that song.
Well, let's take a listen to it here. Tarana with our guest today, Falu Shah. And that was Tarana with our guest today, Falu Shah, on Art on the Air, Lakeshore Public Media, 89.1 FM, and WVLP, 103.1 FM. I love the vocal gymnastics on that, by the way. It's amazing.
That one transported me kind of to another dimension. Like, first it grabbed me like, right under my heart. And then it went to my head, and then it just sort of vibrated all throughout my body. It was just such a beautiful mixture of everything. I mean, like it just felt like there was a multitude of instruments, and with, of course, your voice being a major one, that it was beautiful.
Thank you, Esther.
So, is there a collaboration you're looking to do that you haven't done yet? I know one of the people we eventually going to try and get on the show is Ricky Key. He keeps sending me things, and he worked with Wouter Kellerman, who we've had on the show also. But is there some genre or someone else that you're looking to do that you haven't done yet?
I'm a person who lives in the moment, right? And I take life as it comes. So all of this, my entire musical journey, I haven't ever thought about I want to go in this direction or that. Things just happen and they fall in my lap, and I tend to do it when they come. Um, Long picture, yes, I'm a big fan of Bono. And if Bono ever calls, I mean, my God, like that is the ultimate dream. I used to be the biggest fan of Michael Jackson, but he's never going to call anymore. He's gone, but his music lives with me. I also love Emmylou Harris a lot. And I was hoping she would listen to this folk album and Shenandoah that I've tried to bring Indian ragas and microtones and shrutis in it. And I hope one day Emmylou Harris listens to it. And if I get a chance to sing with her, I would consider myself really, really lucky because I love her music. And she is somebody who my mother played, whose record my mother played in 80s when my mom had a record player, and we did not get American records very easily. There was only one place in Mumbai called Rhythm House where you had to go all the way to Churchgate and you have to stand in line because the records would sell out like this. And Emmylou Harris's record was something my mom always looked forward to. And I had two of her records. Now my mom played it so many times that it stopped playing. So, if I ever get a chance to sing with her, I would, that would be like a
The ultimate.
biggest dream I had when I was 7 years old when my mom was playing that music.
I noticed as I was reading about everything you've done that there is a natural flow from interest to interest that then leads to a project. And so I've watched, or at least I've read about the expansion of the children's album, which won you the Grammy, and all the work that you do with children and teaching them this. Can you talk more about the future of that?
So, I've always been a global artist, right? I mean, Indian classical, when you come to America, obviously falls in that little umbrella of global. There's nowhere else that this music can land. So for me, it's global. And when I became a mom, I didn't never thought of doing anything musically for children. I was just trying to find some good Indian albums for my son so he can learn the language, right? Music is the easiest way to teach your kids any language. Very like that, we know this.
Any concept.
I speak 7 languages, but I can sing in 12 only because it's music. When it's music, you kind of phonetics as a singer, you figure it out and you sing. So I wanted that flexibility for my son and that aptitude in him as well. So I tried to find some Indian albums for children and I found none. So at 4 years old, my son came to me and he said, "Mom, why do we eat yellow food, yellow rice? Or why do we speak Hindi at home and Gujarati? Why don't we speak English? Or why am I brown?" I mean, imagine an immigrant mother dealing with a 4-year-old who doesn't know why he's different. And that the only way I could explain to him anything about it's okay to be different is through music, because that's all I know. So I started writing all these songs. So Sur hai saath, Rang hai saath, Bhukhand hai saath, stuff that was musical. It was in Hindi, but it also appealed to kids because it was fun and catchy
And bouncy.
uplifting and bouncy. They could move with it, but as it was educational and it was fun and informative. So I started writing these songs for him. And every time he would say, "Why is my food yellow? Yummy, yummy in your tummy. These are Indian spices." Like so that he knows the aroma. The aroma is what is nice. It's not called smelly, it's called aroma. So basically, education through music for my son was the first motive to write all these songs. One day, my band was rehearsing with me, and Nishad started complaining, "Why is my food yellow?" And I started singing, "Yummy, yummy in your tummy," right? And my band is like, "That's a good tune. What is this?" I'm like, "No, nothing. Don't worry. It's just something that I sing for him when he complains." And they're like, "No, no, no, wait, sing. It's really catchy." And they told me, "Why don't you make an album of this?" I'm like, who is going to pay attention to Hindi songs, half Hindi, half English, talking about Indian spices and pots and pans and counting numbers? Who cares? They're like, "Trust me. Let's go to the studio. Let's arrange this project. How many songs do you have?" I said, "I have 10 to 12 songs that I sing for Nishad every day." And they go, "Let's go to the studio." And they took me to the studio and we recorded. And I don't know what happened. Maybe people who are juggling with, immigrant parents who are juggling with what to give your child as an immigrant and what to not, latched onto this record. And it ended up with the Grammy nomination. And we had no idea how we got there. When the nominations came out, I was in Nishad's school. We had something going on, and the phone kept ringing. And I'm like, "Who is calling me? I can't take this phone. I'm in a class. It's so disrespectful. I'm not going to pick up the phone." 20 times it rang. And afterwards, I came out, excused myself, and I said, "Why are you calling me?" And my manager goes, "Because you're nominated." I'm like, "What? What nomination?" She goes, "You are Grammy nominated." I'm like, "What? Really? For what?" She goes, "For your children's album." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So it was like that, chance again. I didn't even know she submitted it.
Wow.
What
That's
a
such
story. Oh, great. Well, we want to talk about something a little different. Song that you have is "Hey Baby," which is kind of a departure. So tell us a little bit about that, and we'll take a listen to it.
So the first album, Falu, that I wrote when I came here first in this country. And I didn't know songwriting, even though I knew composition, because in raga, you have to compose, right? You have to do compositions. And when I went to Boston, when my husband was doing his residency in Brigham, I started going to Berkeley. And I took classes, composition classes, songwriting classes, and wanted to learn more about how to think about American music. And every time I felt lonely, and every time I felt dark and uncertain and unsure, because I was new in this country, not knowing anything, I wrote that entire album in a very dark period of my life, which was filled with, what am I doing here? I have no idea about this culture. I don't know anybody musically here. It was, a starting of any artist's life is always uncertain. It comes with so many questions. "Hey Baby" was a song that I wrote because at that time I wanted somebody to be my closest friend. I had no one to talk to. And it came out of desperation. And it came out of feeling really lonely and dark. But it is in a raga that reflects that, which is Bairagi Bhairav. So I took Bairagi Bhairav, which is sa re ma pa ni sa ni pa ma re ni re sa. It's a very dark rag. It's not a light, happy, bubbly rag. From that, I started writing, "I want to dance with you. I want to chance with you." And then it came from there.
It was so personal. It felt almost voyeuristic to be listening to it, like I was like I was almost reading a love letter. It was like hard to listen to, but beautiful to listen to.
Well, let's take a quick listen to it, and then we'll come back for just about a minute after that to wrap things up. This is Falu Shaw's "Hey Baby."
ah I wanna crash with you, wanna smash with you, wanna pine for you, be entwined with you, be obscene with you, be seen with you, wanna feel you near in my arms, I wanna hold you near in my arms, I wanna feel you near in my arms, I wanna hold you near in my arms. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. I've been a shell for you, I'd go to hell for you. Won't you ever see what you mean to me? Wanna zone with you, be alone with you. Wanna scream with you, be unclean with you. Wanna feel you near in my arms, I wanna hold you near in my arms, I wanna feel you near in my arms, I wanna hold you near in my arms. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Bunny sare sare sa sa sa, bunny sare sare re re re, bunny sare sare sa 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 re re re, ma 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 sa 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 re re ma Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go. Hey baby, don't go yet, please don't go, don't go.
And that was Falu Shah, and that's Hey Baby, and that was on your first album, self-named for you, wasn't that?
Yes, it was first baby. I actually call it my first baby, self-titled. It was called Falu, released in 2007. And it took me 5 years to make it because obviously album costs a lot of money, and which I did not have at that time. So I had to put a lot. I did 3 jobs to make this happen.
Well, real quickly, we have less than a minute left. Tell us about anything you have coming up and how people can reach out and find you either online and any other quick projects in this final minute we have with you.
Well, I'm writing right now a lot in any direction that I can. And you can always check out my journey on every social media, YouTube and Instagram, Facebook at Falu Music. The handle is at FALU Music. And my website is falumusic.com.
That's great. We've been really appreciate you coming on Art in the Air. Also, Falu Shah is part of the American Patchwork Quartet, and we only interviewed Clay Ross some time ago. Thanks so much for coming on, sharing not only your music, but your arts and music journey. It's been really a great pleasure.
Thank you for having me, Larry and Esther, and it's a pleasure to be on Art on the Air.
Oh, gosh, it's been a treasure having you on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you.
We'd like to thank our guest this week on Art on the Air, our weekly program covering the arts and arts events throughout Northwest Indiana and beyond. Art on the Air is heard Sunday at 7 p.m. on Lakeshore Public Media, 89.1 FM, also streaming live at lakeshorepublicmedia.org, and is available on Lakeshore Public Media's website as a podcast. Art on the Air is also heard Friday at 11 a.m. and Monday at 5 p.m. on WVLP 103.1 FM, streaming live at wvlp.org. If you have a smart speaker like Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, or Apple Siri, just tell it to play Art on the Air to hear the latest episode. Our Spotlight interviews are heard every Wednesday on Lakeshore Public Media. Thanks to Tom Maloney, Vice President of Radio Operation for Lakeshore Public Media, and Greg Kovach, WVLP's Station Manager. Our theme music is by Billy Foster with a vocal by Renee Foster. Art on the Air is supported by an Indiana Arts Commission Arts Project Grant, South Shore Arts, and the National Endowment for the Arts. We'd like to thank our current underwriters for Lakeshore Public Media, Ember Forge Consulting, thoughtful marketing and digital learning built to express your purpose and grow your reach. Learn more at emberforgeconsulting.com/grow. And for WVLP, Walt Breidinger of Paragon Investments. So we may continue to bring you Art in the Air, we rely on you, our listeners and underwriters, for ongoing financial support. If you're looking to support Art in the Air, we have information on our website at breck.com/AOTA, where you can find out how to become a supporter or underwriter of our program in whatever amount you are able. And like I say every week, don't give till it hurts. Give till it feels good. You'll feel so good about supporting Art on the Air. If you're interested in being a guest or send us information about your arts-related event or exhibit, please email us at aota@breck.com. That's aota@breck.com, or contact us through our Facebook page. Your hosts were Larry Breckner and Esther Golden, and we invite you back next week for another episode of Art on the Air.
Aloha, everyone. Have a splendid week.
Express yourself through art and show the world your heart. Express yourself through art and show the world your heart. You're in the know with Esther and Larry. Art on the Air today. Stay in the know with Larry and Esther. Art on the Air our way. Express yourself through art and show the world your heart. Express yourself through art and show the world your heart. Express yourself through art and show the world your heart. Express yourself through art and show the world your heart.